Something unusual happened when Jim Carrey appeared in Paris, and almost immediately, the internet began asking questions. The legendary actor and comedian attended the 51st César Awards, where he was honored for his remarkable contribution to cinema. On paper, it should have been a celebration of an extraordinary career. Jim even surprised the audience by delivering part of his acceptance speech in French, showing the same playful personality that fans have known for decades. But once footage from the event began circulating online, the conversation quickly moved away from the award itself. Instead, people started focusing on Jim. Viewers began comparing his appearance with photographs and interviews from previous years. Some claimed that his face looked noticeably different. Others focused on his eyes, facial structure, voice, and overall mannerisms. Before long, social media discussions became increasingly dramatic, with some users even suggesting that the man appearing in Paris could not possibly be the Jim Carrey they remembered. Then came one of the internet's favorite conspiracy theories, the idea that a celebrity has secretly been replaced by a clone. There is, of course, no verified evidence that Jim Carrey has been cloned or replaced. But that did not stop the theory from spreading. The speculation became even stronger because Jim has spent much of his career challenging conventional ideas about fame, identity, and Hollywood. He has repeatedly spoken about the strange relationship between celebrities and their public personas. In several interviews, he has questioned whether fame and celebrity identity are as meaningful as society makes them appear. That history gave online conspiracy communities plenty of material to revisit. One of the most frequently discussed moments came from an older red carpet interview. Instead of behaving like a typical celebrity promoting himself, Jim spoke about the emptiness of celebrity culture and questioned the importance people place on personalities and famous individuals. At the time, some viewers interpreted his comments as philosophical. Jim seemed to be talking about ego, identity, and the idea that human beings are more than the characters they create for society. Others, however, interpreted the interview much more literally. To them, Jim appeared to be hinting that there was something deeper happening inside Hollywood. Years later, those old clips began circulating again, especially after his appearance in Paris. Fans who already believed Jim had changed started using his earlier comments as part of a larger story. They pointed toward his transformation from the energetic comedian of the 1990s and early 2000s into a quieter, more reflective public figure. That transformation itself is not particularly mysterious. People change. Actors grow older. Their priorities shift. Their appearance changes. Their voices can become different with age, and makeup, lighting, cameras, hairstyles, clothing, and even simple changes in expression can make someone look surprisingly different. Jim Carrey is also in his 60s now. Expecting him to look exactly as he did during the era of The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, or The Truman Show would be unrealistic. Yet the internet rarely works that way. Once people notice something unusual, they begin searching for more evidence. Some viewers started focusing on Jim's eyes, claiming their color appeared different from older footage. Others discussed his jawline, smile, teeth, and voice. Each small difference became another piece of what some users considered a much bigger mystery. Soon, comments appeared suggesting that the real Jim Carrey had supposedly left Hollywood years ago. Some theories placed that imaginary turning point around the late 2010s, arguing that Jim had become increasingly outspoken about the entertainment business and powerful institutions. Again, there is no reliable evidence proving such a scenario. But Jim's public history does explain why people make these connections. Throughout his career, he has occasionally criticized celebrity culture and questioned the systems surrounding fame. He has also spoken publicly about subjects such as ego, politics, capitalism, spirituality, and the pressures surrounding public identity. His unusual style makes these comments especially easy to interpret in different ways. Jim has always mixed comedy with serious ideas. Sometimes he makes people laugh while discussing something deeply philosophical. Sometimes he exaggerates a point for comedic effect. Sometimes he deliberately acts strange, because that is simply part of his comedic style. That ambiguity is one reason his older interviews continue to attract attention. Another factor is the long-running fascination with celebrity cloning theories. These theories are not new. Similar rumors have been aimed at numerous famous musicians, actors, and entertainers over the years. Online communities sometimes interpret changes in appearance as evidence that a celebrity has been replaced. There is no credible evidence establishing that these claims are true. Nevertheless, once a theory begins circulating, almost anything can be interpreted as confirmation. A different haircut becomes evidence. A change in lighting becomes evidence. A slightly different voice becomes evidence. Even normal aging can be presented as proof of something mysterious. Jim's case became particularly interesting because of his own history of discussing identity. For decades, he has been famous for transforming his face and body for comedy. His ability to make extreme facial expressions became one of his trademarks. He built an entire career around changing his appearance for characters and jokes. That makes it somewhat ironic that people would now use changes in his appearance as evidence that something secret has happened. There is also another part of Jim's history that frequently gets pulled into online discussions: his comments about secret organizations, symbols, and powerful people. In one famous appearance, Jim joked about hidden symbols and suggested that television and entertainment could distract people from more serious issues. His delivery was deliberately strange, making it difficult to tell exactly where the joke ended and the serious commentary began. That ambiguity became part of the appeal. Years later, clips from those appearances resurfaced, and some viewers began interpreting them as supposed warnings. But there is an important distinction between a celebrity making provocative jokes and actually confirming a conspiracy. Those are not the same thing. Jim Carrey has never publicly confirmed that he was replaced by a clone, nor has he provided credible evidence that such a process exists. Still, the theories continue because the internet loves unresolved mysteries. And Jim Carrey may be one of the easiest celebrities to build such theories around because his public personality has changed so dramatically over the years. The wild comedian who once dominated Hollywood comedy gradually became a more philosophical and introspective figure. He began discussing questions about identity and consciousness. He talked about how fame can create a false sense of self. He sometimes appeared almost detached from the celebrity image that had made him famous. For some fans, that evolution was inspiring. For others, it was confusing. And when they saw him looking different in Paris, those old questions returned. The conversation surrounding Jim Carrey did not stop with his appearance in Paris. As the clip spread, people began revisiting some of his most controversial public moments. One major reason was his willingness to criticize systems that he believed deserved scrutiny. Jim has never been a completely conventional celebrity. His interviews can move from comedy to philosophy within seconds. He can make an outrageous joke and then suddenly discuss the nature of existence. That unpredictability has always been part of his appeal. It has also made his statements easy to take out of context. One of the subjects frequently connected to Jim's name is Hollywood itself. Some online communities believe that the entertainment industry is controlled by powerful groups operating behind the scenes. They interpret certain celebrity comments, symbols, interviews, and career changes as clues. Jim's older comments about Hollywood have therefore been repeatedly revisited. In one appearance, he spoke in a deliberately provocative way about entertainment personalities, government influence, secret symbols, and the possibility that audiences are distracted from larger problems. Some viewers saw it as comedy. Others saw it as a serious warning. That disagreement has never really disappeared. Another comedian who often enters similar online discussions is Katt Williams. Williams has built a reputation for making controversial statements about the entertainment industry and powerful people. His comments have attracted both supporters and critics. Some fans believe comedians like Jim Carrey and Katt Williams use humor as a way to discuss subjects that might otherwise be difficult to address. Others argue that conspiracy communities simply take jokes too seriously and connect unrelated events. The truth may be much less dramatic. Comedians are entertainers. They exaggerate. They provoke audiences. They use satire. They intentionally blur the line between reality and performance. That is especially true for someone like Jim Carrey. His entire career was built around exaggeration. So, when he makes an unusual statement, it can be difficult to determine exactly what he means without considering the context. Another issue that has been brought back into the discussion involves Jim's past personal life. Online communities have revisited the tragic death of his former partner and have attempted to connect that event to broader theories about pressure surrounding Jim. However, those theories remain speculation. There is no established evidence proving that the tragedy was part of a larger Hollywood conspiracy or that Jim was threatened because of his opinions. This distinction matters. A story can contain real events without proving every theory people attach to those events. That is exactly what has happened with Jim Carrey. Real interviews exist. Real changes in appearance exist. Real controversies exist. But the conclusions being drawn from them are often much more dramatic than the evidence itself. The same pattern appears whenever celebrities become connected to larger cultural controversies. People begin collecting unrelated moments and placing them into one narrative. Then, once the narrative exists, every new event seems to support it. Jim's Paris appearance became another example. The César Awards were supposed to celebrate his career. Instead, online discussions transformed the event into a debate about whether he looked different. Some people believed the difference was obvious. Others argued that cameras, lighting, aging, makeup, and simple changes in expression could explain everything. There is also a psychological reason why these theories become so powerful. People naturally search for patterns. When two images look different, we want to understand why. When a celebrity changes their behavior, we look for a reason. When someone who was once loud becomes quiet, we wonder what happened. The internet makes this process even stronger because millions of people can examine the same few seconds of video. One person notices the eyes. Another notices the voice. Someone else focuses on the smile. A fourth person compares an old photograph with a new one. Before long, thousands of observations can be combined into a story that feels convincing even when the individual observations have ordinary explanations. That appears to be what happened with Jim Carrey. The viral clips created a mystery. The old interviews created context. The conspiracy theories created a narrative. And social media connected everything together. But there is another important part of the story: Jim himself. Despite all the speculation, he continues to appear publicly and work within the entertainment world. His career has survived enormous changes in Hollywood. He has moved between comedy, drama, television, painting, writing, and other creative projects. His public identity has evolved because he has evolved. Perhaps that is the simplest explanation. Maybe there is no hidden replacement. Maybe there is simply an older Jim Carrey who has lived through decades of fame and now sees celebrity differently. His comments about identity actually provide an interesting way to understand the situation. Jim has repeatedly questioned the idea that a celebrity's public persona represents the complete human being. The person audiences remember from a movie is a character. The most dramatic explanation is not always the correct one. Jim Carrey's appearance in Paris may have looked different to some viewers, but looking different is not proof that someone else has taken his place. And his old jokes about secret organizations do not automatically confirm that he was exposing a hidden Hollywood system. What we can say with confidence is that Jim Carrey has always been an unusual figure in entertainment. He built his career by challenging expectations. He transformed himself through characters. He questioned fame. He explored identity. And he often used comedy to discuss ideas that made people uncomfortable. That combination has kept audiences fascinated for decades. So perhaps the biggest mystery isn't whether Jim Carrey has been replaced. Perhaps the more interesting question is why people find it so difficult to accept that someone can simply change. The internet may continue comparing old photographs with new footage. It may continue analyzing his eyes, voice, expressions, and body language. It may continue bringing back interviews from years ago. But until credible evidence appears, the clone theory remains exactly that, a theory. And maybe the next time Jim Carrey appears publicly, the internet will once again try to figure out what changed. Until then, one thing is certain: Jim Carrey remains one of Hollywood's most unpredictable personalities. And whether you believe the conspiracy theories or think the internet is simply reading too much into a few viral clips, the conversation itself shows just how powerful celebrity culture has become. What do you think? Did Jim Carrey genuinely seem different in Paris, or were viewers simply comparing an older man with a much younger version of himself? Let us know what you think in the comments, and stay tuned for more celebrity stories, unusual moments, and Hollywood mysteries.